I'm just back from my local home center. I picked up some sandpaper for the drum sander, a little course of grit. We've got panels to sand down, try to get them to final dimension. It takes time. A lot of passes through that drum sander to get things where they need to be. But nothing gets started till you get started. I'll see you inside. I'm Roby Price, and welcome to my garage workshop. In this series, we're building a Spalted Pecan dresser. Taking the panels to final thickness. It's been a night and most of the morning. The temperature in the garage was about 20 degrees cooler than it was outside, and the humidity is through the roof. And of course, I'm watching all my tools now. It's post-noon, and they're starting to sweat. So I'm going to have to wipe down some cast iron before too long. But I need to get something done. And I have broken one of my panels out of the clamps. This one is next. I've got two more right here, and that's the top and the bottom, side and side. And I'm much happier with the wood. It's much more consistent. You can probably see from here. Let me turn it up. There is no white. It is very consistent. And I think this is a much better, going to be a much better product. I'm much happier with it. I'd probably never been happier had I not done that. So there it is. But now it's time to take it to the drum sander. And we won't use a crayon, we'll use pencil. I don't like my rollers, my sandpaper gummed up with wax. So the graphite does a better job. We'll mark all the tops of these, and then we'll go over to the drum sander back there. I've got a little setup work to do, and it will be a lot of passes back and forth. The objective is to get one side perfectly flat, another side flat enough that I can work with. Let's face it, you're not going to see the inside. As a matter of fact, you're not even going to ever see the tops and bottoms because they're going to be covered up. So we'll go ahead, get these other ones out of the clamps and get over there to the drum sander and get started. Well, I've taken an hour or two to get set up over here and clean up the shop a bit. I've changed out the paper on the drum. We're at 100 now, whereas before we were at 150. I've got my outfeed table set up over here and two stations outside. I'll move the camera outside so you can see how this process is going to work. We won't be sanding one panel down to thickness and then sanding another panel down to thickness. That would be a much quicker operation. We're sanding each panel down to a thickness and then resetting to a new thickness, working down to where all of our seams are evened out. This will be a long process. So let me move the camera outside so you can kind of see the little bit of a dance that I have to go through to get this done. Well, I'll take the board and put it on my outfeed table. Because I have a bi-directional belt, I can do it this way. I'll feed it in, come around the other side and feed it out. This allows me to keep all my stations on the outside. Arc your work, otherwise you'll never know when you're finished. I like my shop layout, but occasionally it takes a circuitous route to get from point A to point B. Let me speed this up for you.
3 more to go, and I won't even tell you how many times I have to push these things through to get rid of those pencil marks. And then we can flip them over and do the other side. It's going to take a while.
Well, I finished up with the drum sander and my panels are flat. And as a matter of fact, they are right at 3/4 of an inch. Couldn't ask for a whole lot better. And when they make that type of a sound, you know they're flat. They're stacking up real nice. I'll put some boards underneath them so they can breathe a little bit tonight. I don't suspect at this point I'm going to get too much in the way of movement, but I could. So the next step is going to be to trim these to length and width. And then we will get ourselves set up on the dovetailing jig. And I want to do the dovetails and get a dry fit. Make sure that my dovetails are exactly what I want them to be. And from there, after we get the outside case dry fit and assembled, then I will determine where the drawers are going to be and place the dust frames accordingly. I don't want to get myself caught in a situation where I put the dovetails in for the dust frames and then have a catastrophe with the dovetails on the case. That's just not going to happen. So the next step, we're going to do the final dimension on these and then get set up for dovetails. I'll see you tomorrow.